All right, let's talk about the unsung hero working inside your muscles, a secret sidekick you probably didn't even know you had. You know that feeling, right? You're sound asleep, maybe having a great dream, and then bam, out of nowhere, your leg just seizes up into this incredibly painful knot. Ugh, it is the absolute worst. Yep, the infamous Charley horse. It just strikes without any warning and leaves you lying there wondering, what did I do to deserve this? It seriously feels like your own muscle has just declared war on you. Okay, but what if I told you that deep down inside your cells, there's this little defender, a substance that's working around the clock to stop that exact kind of muscular meltdown from happening? Meet taurine. So taurine is an amino acid. And really, the best way to think of it is like a personal assistant for your muscles. It's not the main star of the show, but it's that absolutely crucial sidekick, making sure everything behind the scenes runs just the way it's supposed to. So how in the world does this sidekick actually do its job? Well, taurine has what we can basically call 3 different superpowers that help keep your muscles happy and hopefully cramp-free. Let's break them down. First, you've got the Electrolyte Bouncer. Then there's the muscle chiller, and finally, the cellular bodyguard. Now, those names sound pretty cool, right? But what they actually do is even more interesting. Okay, superpower number 1, the Electrolyte Bouncer. So picture your muscle cell as like a super exclusive VIP club. To work right, it needs the perfect crowd of electrolytes. We're talking calcium, potassium, sodium, moving in and out. Well, taurine is the bouncer at the velvet rope, making sure that flow is just right. And that balance, it's absolutely key for your muscles to tighten up and, just as important, to let go. And that brings us perfectly to its second power, the muscle chiller. You see, when a muscle gets all overexcited, usually because its calcium signals are all out of whack, it's kind of like a person who's had way too much coffee. It gets jittery, it freaks out, and that's a cramp. Taurine steps in and basically tells those signals to just take a breath. It helps the muscle fiber chill out, promoting relaxation and comfort. And last but not least, the cellular bodyguard. When you have a really intense workout, your muscles create these things called reactive oxygen species, or ROS for short. Just think of them as tiny troublemakers that run around causing damage. Well, taurine, with its awesome antioxidant powers, acts like a personal bodyguard for your cells. It steps in, neutralizes those little troublemakers, and protects your muscles from all that stress. Now, as amazing as all these superpowers sound, we've got to hit pause for a second. It's time for an important reality check. Because even with a hero like taurine in the mix, there are some really important rules we need to be clear about. So, here is the most crucial point, and this is coming directly from our source material. Even though taurine seems to do a lot to support muscle health, it is not an FDA-approved treatment for muscle cramps. This is not some magic pill. Which leads us to the number 1 golden, non-negotiable rule. Before you ever think about changing your diet or adding any kind of supplement, taurine included, you have to talk to a doctor or another healthcare professional. They're the only ones who can help you figure out what's right for your specific situation. So after all of that, what's the big takeaway here? Well, for me, it's really about appreciating the unbelievably amazing and complex world that's constantly at work inside your own body. So let's just recap real quick. Your muscle's secret sidekick, taurine, is helping out by acting as a bouncer for your electrolytes, a chiller for those overexcited muscle cells, and a bodyguard against stress from your workouts. It's a pretty fantastic little helper keeping everything in check. And that just leaves us with one final thought. You know, if taurine is doing all of this work behind the scenes, it really makes you wonder, what other incredible hidden helpers are quietly working inside you right this second just to keep this whole amazing system up and running? Kind of cool to think about, isn't it?